Hi, Dyslexic Genius here, Brett Hurd. I'm back on the ground up restoration of the home, and I've gotten the whole motor together, and I've oiled and adjusted the governor. But when I first got it together, I found out that the new yoke, the screws here were hitting the yoke, which means they were coming around and they're hitting this because everything's a little bit different on everything. So what you have to do, even if this hasn't been broken and you put something together and you hear the screws are hitting it like this, you have to gently take them, and you don't want to bend up here, you want to bend down here. So you're going to take a pair of pliers and you can just hold one side and just give it a little bend over. Okay? And then that way you put everything back together. So what I had to do was I had to take everything apart, which means I had to take the whole gear train out, the spring barrel out, bend this one out a little so it would miss the screw. When I put it together, I went like that and they were hitting. So I had to take everything back apart and redo everything. I've done everything. I've flex toned everything like I talk about. This thing runs like a top. And when you do a really good restoration on your machine and you take the time, you just don't throw them together, they should crank up in about one crank, almost two. Yeah, 2.5 is, 1.5 is fired up. But that's what the motor should sound like when it's running and not getting the sounding board off the bench here. But when you turn it upside down, you'll hear it running. It's running a little fast, I can tell you that right now by the sound of the governor. It should be, the governor should be a little bit quieter. But when you put the belt on and you hook everything up, all this goes away. And this way, when you're holding them like this and they're running, you can tell if any of the gears, like in the governor, if the governor drive gear here has a nick in it that you didn't feel it, when you turn them upside down and you hold them in your hand, you can feel if it has a tick. Even if you don't hear it, you'll hear a thump, a little nicking. I don't feel any nicking in this at all. You know, this is a lot of fun, and that's my tip for the day.
So you should end up with a perfect motor and just a dirty face.
Yep, you should end up with a perfect motor and a dirty face, and I'm always dirty and greasy, but what the heck.